Hey guys, it's Jason Dunn from Digital Home Thoughts here, and here's my long overdue review of the Nikon D5000. So this was a camera that I purchased late in 2009, and I was really intrigued because it was the first digital SLR that I would own that would have the ability to shoot 720p video. So here's the camera. I want to point out a pretty cool accessory before I move any further. This is called the Gary Fong Puffer, I believe. And basically what it is it's just a small attachment that you put on the hot shoe here where the flash goes. And as you can tell, you just sort of slide it in here. Oops, this is kind of hard to do. Basically, you just slide it in. There we go. When the flash pops up, it of course hits this surface when it fires, and then it acts as a diffuser. And it might be hard to make this out here, but there are a bunch of little tiny spheres all along the surface here. And when the light hits these little plastic spheres, it essentially diffuses it outwards. So what you end up getting then is the ability to use direct flash off of the camera without having it look like it is direct flash, meaning direct flash usually looks really harsh. It generally does not look very good, and I try to avoid it whenever possible. But if I'm in a low light situation and I need to use flash, that little accessory, which is, I think I paid maybe 30 bucks for it or so, it's pretty cheap. That little accessory really improves the quality of direct flash pictures. Of course, always try to use available light whenever possible. So let's get on to the review. So what do I think of the D5000? Overall, it is an impressive little camera. It is certainly a step up from any other, sort of basic digital SLRs. Like the D3000 that Nikon has, for instance, is pretty similar to this, but this one has a better sensor, and it also has, of course, the 720p video. So let's get that right out of the way first. What did I not like about this camera? I didn't really like the 720p video, and here's the thing, all right? So let's say we turn on the camera. Of course, it has this screen that comes down. I really like this screen. It's actually really cool to be able to shoot, specifically if you're doing stuff at a low angle. Of course, I just had my wife had our first child last year, and this has been really helpful to be able to get down to the level of the baby and sort of shoot from eye level, but also, of course, be able to see what's going on here through the live view. So if I just hit the live view button, maybe I'll just put something out in front here so we can kind of check it out. So as you can see, you can actually check out the object there. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I didn't really like. Digital SLRs, so far, video is hard to use on them. So now, here's the caveat, right? If you want to use this camera to shoot, 720p video, and you have it on a tripod and you're shooting a stationary subject, you're doing like an interview or something, it'll work out great. You can fix the focus on the person, you lock in your focus, you shoot the video, and it's going to look, fantastic. If you're doing anything else, though, anything that requires any movement, you're shooting kids or sports or virtually anything, it can be a real challenge to have the focus lock in. So what you can do now, this is a bad demo, but you can zoom in, or sorry, you can do the focus manually, right? And then what you can also do is you can press and hold. And it will automatically focus in for you. So it does have focus. Of course, this is I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. This is live view when you're shooting the actual when you're shooting pictures, right? So if I hit record here, this is going to start taking the picture, and so that's really the root of the problem, is that the autofocus of pressing and holding, where it uses something called contrast detection, it does not actually have the ability to autofocus. You actually have to do the focus ring manually up on the front of the camera here. So anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that any longer. I'm just going to say that for my particular needs, and that is, a new parent, trying to take videos of his kid and whatnot, in general, life in general, this is not a good camera for video. If you want to shoot video, you're probably going to have much more luck, getting like a little flip minnow or something like that, or even just a regular video camera. So not great for video, and that's largely just due to the focus mechanism that it uses. And I'm just not going to talk about that anymore. Now, the good news, the stuff that I actually like about this camera, it is really small, it's really portable, it's really light. The the grip is so small though, as you can tell when I grip it, my pinky actually kind of goes below. So for some people, this may actually be almost a little bit too small. It really honestly depends on how tall you are and how big your hands are. But I want to show you just kind of a brief size comparison here. So this is the D5000, and then I'm going to compare it to my D300. Okay, my D300 is so big, I can't even really fit it on the frame here. So on my D300, I actually have a battery grip down here, right? That obviously adds some size to it. And then of course, I do have a bigger lens, but it is really important, you know, just to note that the D5000, one of the great things about it is its small size. It is light, it's easy to use, it's easy to give it to like another family member. My wife can pick it up and use it, where something like a bigger digital SLR, like this D300 here, with a big lens, it of course is nowhere near as easy to sort of just pick up and use. There are lots of things I liked about the D5000. I liked the scene modes are pretty good. It's pretty smart. I really like getting all this feedback here on the screen. One of the things I didn't like, and maybe this is just something I don't know how to do, although I don't think it is, I didn't like that I couldn't manually force the flash. So here's the thing. You can go in here and manually force the flash off, right? Where basically you tell the camera, okay, I do not want to use the flash. But if you do it in any other modes, it was hard for me to figure out. Of course, now did I just figure that out? Is it going to take the picture? No. When it comes to using the flash, I'm not aware of any way of actually forcing the flash to go. Although I wonder if it's in one of these manual modes, if it will in fact go. I'm used to my D300, right, which is essentially if I force the flash to come up, it's gonna fire the flash. I can adjust the the strength of it and everything else. But on the D5000, I wasn't generally able to force the flash to trigger. Although I'm just gonna take a picture off camera here, and we'll just see if the flash fired. Oh, the flash fired. Okay, this is one of those awkward moments in a YouTube video where I discover something that I didn't realize I was doing wrong before. So essentially, it looks like when you have it in full auto, okay, which is typically the way I leave the camera so that everyone can use it, right? When you hit the flash button when it's in full auto, the flash doesn't come up. The flash will not fire unless the auto mode decides that it needs the flash. But it looks like if you switch over to say A, which is aperture priority, and you press the button, the flash will come up, and then the flash will actually fire. At least it should fire again here. We'll just try this one more time. There we go. The flash fired. So I learned something new. So that actually addresses one of my concerns, so that if I dial it over to the manual mode, I can get the flash to fire. Okay, not a big deal. Now, moving right along, another great thing about this particular camera, like all digital SLRs, is that you can change the lenses. I had a few requests for people to see the camera with like a different lens on it. So this is my Nikon 18-200 lens. So I'm just going to pop off this lens, and I'm going to put it on the camera. Boom. So now we have a D5000 which with a bigger lens. So this is 18-200. So you can get quite a bit of zoom. On this body, it has a 1.5 crop factor, and what that means is that this lens, when it's at 200, is actually the equivalent of 300 millimeters. So you actually get 300 millimeters of zoom, which is a ton of zoom. And I'll just dial it back here. Yeah. So again, one of the really nice things about this particular camera, which is, I think, a significant advantage over some of the other cameras out there that are sort of the mega zooms that are not true digital SLRs. I really like the ability to swap lenses. In terms of image quality, zero complaints. It takes really nice pictures. A large part of that, though, depends on what kind of glass you're using. The better the glass you're using, the better the overall pictures are going to be. I would love to see. I mean, it's difficult, right? On my D300. I have 51 autofocus points. I have 3D tracking. On this particular camera, you don't have nearly the same number of focal points, right? So it can sometimes make things a little bit hard to set up. But I mean, again, this is a much cheaper camera, right? So you're not going to get the same type of performance and options as you would get on a much bigger camera. But again, this camera is less than probably about a third of what I paid for the D300. So that's my general thoughts on the D5000. I really like the camera. I would definitely recommend it for anyone that's looking for a good entry-level digital SLR. I hope this has been helpful. I realize I did ramble a bit. Hope you still like the video. Please rate it, comment it, and thanks for watching.